Demo Dabble.
Guys, it's Demo Dabble time, and let me tell you a couple of things. Thing number one, if you want to get my attention, not that you would, but in case that was something you wanted, calling your game Vampire Therapist is a fantastic start. Number two, however, I don't know if it's the fault of this game, this demo, or Norton Antivirus. However, upon opening this, Norton threw up, I counted 23 different warnings about outgoing connection stuff. The thing is, I'm recording this right after Norton had an update that changed their UI, which is why I don't want to be like, hey, developers of Vampire Therapist, what are you doing? Because it may not be them. It may be Norton Antivirus, because, you know how that stuff goes. But that's just everybody who sees this, if you run into the same thing, so did I. If you don't, great. Even better. Probably. Vampire Therapist. Looks like it's a mouse and keyboard game. I didn't see gamepad control for it, so let's hit new game. This is a demo. And here we go. It says Vampire Therapist explores or touches on sensitive topics such as war, abuse, addiction, sexual oppression, suicidal ideation, religion, and of course, death. These may be uncomfortable or upsetting for some readers and a big surprise to the guy playing this game right now. We recommend that readers with a history of trauma related to any of these topics approach this game with caution. Naturally, a game about vampires will also involve blood and sexual themes. Strong language is also present. Vampire Therapist was developed in consultation with a licensed therapist, but it should not be considered a substitute for therapy, unless you're a vampire. I'm a sex vampire. Or I will be when I'm done here.
Walls.
Oh, voice acting.
I'm a dead man. Well, kind of dead at least. See, I'm a vampire.
I didn't expect this accent.
If you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit. That's exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror.
Do they need the gun?
I got lucky, though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace. After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a vampire. And I found revelation. What I realized was, it ain't fangs that make us monsters. It's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the world started getting smaller, my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw. But I got hooked up with this newfangled internet thing and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. A fella named Andromachos, supposed to be 3,000 years old. He invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been looking, and now it's time to give back. Vampires ain't monsters. Or at least, they don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them. Well, I think this is the address. Number 27, Clean Flitter Mouse Streeb?
Strasse, isn't it? Kleinfletter Maustrasse? I don't know. I don't speak German. Okay, wow, this is hitting me with a number of different impacts. For one, I didn't expect, the Tex accent. Two, I didn't expect that there would be stories about gunplay. Three, after hearing the accent, And then seeing the photo of the PC in 1989, I didn't think this was going to take place in 2024, let alone in Germany. Like, so I'm being hit by all different sides. Here's what has me excited, but it also means it could really let me down. I didn't have any interest in the old cable show, I think it was HBO, The Sopranos, because it's like, oh, gee, more Italian mob stuff. Like, we haven't been just littered with that to begin with, until I learned that a big part of it was Tony and his issues, and him speaking with a counselor or a therapist or whatever her actual title is. And then I wound up disappointed because it turns out that slowly shrunk away, and the game became more about, hey, we're a bunch of Italian mobsters. So this has me in a good spot, as long as it keeps it. All right, so we're at this Insernacht place.
Sure is a hell of a lot of ruckus for this time of night. People stay up late here.
And again, it's so funny how things change over time. The number of games from indie studios, or I think this is an indie studio, that have voice acting when that just wasn't a thing, you know? It's very appreciated, though, because it's been solid voice acting.
Wait a minute. These folk are vampires. Better watch myself.
Wait, I thought he was too.
Guten Abend, folks. Sprechen Sie English?
I thought it was Guten Tag, right? And it's Sprechen? Or now I don't know.
Ja, hello, Alta. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Okay, I'm sorry. That dude's voice acting sounds like Rob doing a German accent. So now I can't really, I don't know. Oh, is this a visual novel? Okay. All right, so am I here to party? Let's see. Am I here to party? I don't know why I'm here. Oh, I'm asking about this guy. We're going to ask about this guy. Once again, I didn't know what type of game it was, so... You know what? Actually, what is this place? Who are you guys?
Well, what's so special about this club?
Insernacht is the greatest club aller Zeiten. The owner makes sure everyone has a good time.
If anyone acts without respect, they are banned from the club forever.
Okay.
You are free to do and be whatever you like, as long as you are harming no one.
That's all I ask for.
Und I hear that they are now attracting sexy old cowboys.
Shh, Maxie, he is old enough to be your grandfather.
Oh, come on now. You're just flattering me. I'm only a couple 100 years old.
Oh mein Gott, he is so cute, Reinhard. Can I keep him?
Yeah, do we have a dress code issue? Do we have to goth it up?
I don't think what I'm wearing will fit the dress code.
The cowboy look is totally sexy, but you will get a bit sweaty.
Well, I mean, it's a club. I was gonna either way.
I hope we will all get a bit sweaty.
Thanks, Maxie. I was way ahead of you there.
Good thing we run a little on the cold side, huh?
Oh, this guy is going to be a charming oaf, isn't he? Is he going to be a charming oaf, or is he going to be really smart and he's just playing a role?
Don't worry, my Liebling. We make each other warm.
Reinhard, stop. Don't scare the American. I want to do that.
Maxi Liebchen, you're so naughty tonight.
No, you are the naughty one.
Oh, I definitely ain't an American no more.
Really? Because, like, what's been the difference so far?
I'm looking for Andrew Makos.
You mean the club owner? Ja, that is why we are here.
If you're lucky, he will invite us to the private party at the end of the night.
Well, what happens there?
I think maybe it is too kinky for Americans to hear.
Oh, give us a try.
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Doesn't matter if it's day or night, aren't we always sexy?
Oh, we're them kind of vampires.
What does that mean?
Ach so, there are better things to suck than blood, oder?
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
What is happening with my guy? He's glowing red now.
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it. It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think.
Are we in his head?
Well, let's see. One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of.
What? That's great. Okay.
There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do or die showdown. And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine.
Damn it, I am trying to get these games off of my follow list and not go on to my wish list because, games cost money. And yet, I'm in. They thought this out in such a funny way that I'm distracted. I need these read to me again because I just found them so clever. I couldn't even pay attention.
I can always check my journal if I need examples. I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there. I think I know which one of them funny ways they're thinking in, though.
A little weird is that this is a story that absolutely seems like you need a fish out of water character, and yet you're not one. So I am not somebody who is in-depthly knowledged about vampirism. So I don't know if that's going to affect me much or not.
Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on Friday night.
Okay, I do want to see the examples just to make sure I understand. Private property, do not read. Cowboy Bloodsucker at vmail.com. Well done. How do I? Okay. I found this old notebook and figured I'd take it with me to Europe. I figured it'll help me organize my thoughts. I'll separate it in 2 sections so I can jump to them right quick. That way, when I need to get to particular section of my notes, all I gotta do is hop over to that section. Easy as falling off a horse, and falling off a horse is real easy, also painful. Cognitive disorders. The funny ways we think. Oh wait, no, that's what I wanted. Okay, high noon. Sometimes things can seem black and white, win or lose, famine or feast, live or die. Like everything's a big showdown. It can feel like we've got only 2 options, winning the day or ending up with a stake in the heart. That's high noon mind. It's thinking in extremes and ignoring all the in-between. We stress ourselves out when stakes are high. So if I can't get the best saddle, my butt's gonna break, ain't no doubt. Either I show up ready to win the rodeo, or I'd better just not show up. The fate of the wild. Okay, so I thought he was reacting to her saying there was a bouncer we had to get through. But I didn't catch her full sentence, so I don't know that it necessarily falls under this. Saloon thinking. Well, actually, I thought it was originally thinking saloon thinking, but let me see what hot branding is first. We sometimes call ourselves awful names. I'm a failure. I'm unlikable. It's like burning ourselves with a big old branding iron. Every time we look at ourselves, we'll keep seeing those names. It's just calling ourselves names that do no good. I missed that shot. I'm such a butterfingers crying over Horace. You're sappy as hell, etc., etc. Okay, if I'm remembering what that sentence was correctly, which I may not be, it's definitely not that. So what is saloon thinking? Of either feeling responsibility or soul control, or feeling completely hopeless. Thing is, usually neither is true. Feeling hopeless don't mean we're powerless, and feeling untouchable don't mean we're invincible. That's saloon thinking. Either way, our real capabilities are somewhere in between. With my dark powers, vampires shall dominate the mortal world. If a mortal discovers our secret, it's entirely my responsibility to deal with it. I can't deal with the bureaucracy of international travel with my coffin. I'm stuck in the USA forever. Okay, I'm starting to think I did not catch the sentence that he's reacting to. I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on Friday night. So that feels like a high noon mind, right?
Amigos, you're putting too much weight on this thing. It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Reinhard, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club, because we are now meeting you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if the blood splatter was right or not.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachos, though.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked halfway all night.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend. I hear you're the man to talk to around these parts. I'm here to see Andromachos.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about us?
Yeah, why not? They've been nice.
Sure, they're friends of mine.
Have fun, mate.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah! Dang, awful loud in here.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Well, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this. I better talk to whoever's slinging drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachos is. But pardon me, ma'am.
Well, well, look at you. We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s. What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
I never drink Red Bull. I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What do you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
Well, hold on now. That sounds like some hot branding.
From where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine. Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are. Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for booze.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire
Somebody
club.
fucking backing up in my parking. Hang on. Man, between that and the weird antivirus thing, like nothing wants me to just enjoy what's happening here.
You met some gods, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
So all these people are mortals?
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience. He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Bert and Ernie?
Bert?
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here.
I'm guessing it's the bouncer.
This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
Have fun, mate.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
I'm curious about her voice actor. There's something about her intonation that seems very familiar, but I have no idea. Probably just a coincidence.
Howdy. It's Sam Walls to see you, sir. The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
Yes, I know who you are, Samuel Walls. You have come here because you believe you can help our kin.
You know he's a vampire because he talks like that.
The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
I've been fixing myself for more than a century now. I don't think I need help.
Then you must prepare to learn a most difficult lesson. We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless. Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
You know, I receive emails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
Well, dang. I think you're going to be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
I have unlimited time, Samuel. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh, yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better. After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I can try, though. See, we tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive. Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something. And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Cognitive whoozy what now?
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High noon mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in Mortal Kombat long before the age of gunpowder. But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marcus Aurelius. He used to say that the magnitude of life's challenges often turn us into our worst selves.
Marcus Aurelius, come on now.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marcus was a bedroom name.
You mean you and the emperor were...
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake. My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this high noon mind. I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
So, okay, I'm going to actually take a second here because I'm starting to get a vibe of another game. Much different approach in idea, but meta-wise. And that's Socrates Jones, Pro-Philosopher, which I also thought was really interesting. Socrates Jones, Pro-Philosopher felt more like a game that was trying to teach you a little bit more about philosophy, whereas this, I don't know if that's what they're going for here. I don't know that they're trying to teach you. I think they just want to... I think this was written with the intention of exploration. I guess I would say it that way. I don't want to continue with the demo Dabble stuff because, honestly, a visual novel game is going to be like this. I think if you're interested in this game, you know it by now. And I say that as somebody who is interested in this game, and I know it by now. So this is coming off of my follow list and going onto my wish list on Steam. So we'll go ahead and take a step away from the game, and let me give you some information here. The company that put this out, this appears to be their only game. Again, that's at least according to Steam. They're called Little Bat Games. I like it. It's a good name. It's a fun little logo also. So it's marked as a visual novel, obviously. It is marked as dark comedy, LGBTQ+, and historical, which is kind of interesting too there. This game is out as of the time that I am recording. In fact, when I went to play this game, this wasn't the next one for me to do. It turns out one of the other demos that I planned on doing was apparently one of the Steam Next Fest things, and those demos aren't permanently available, which I wasn't aware of until now. And so this was the last one that I had scheduled, so I bumped it up to fill in this spot. And it had an update. So the game is released according to Steam's release as of July 18th, 2024. Regular price is $15. which is not bad. The voice acting is top notch. I was actually curious to see if... No, I can't easily just see in the description about the voice actors, so I may have to go look on that on my own. Only a couple hundred reviews thus far, but they're all extremely positive, and I'm definitely... Oh, you can apparently play this with a controller. I missed that. I didn't scroll down far enough. But I did not... I'm not surprised, because the voice acting is good, the writing is solid. This is good dialogue. Video games, even from big companies, used to be filled with such crap dialogue, and it's something I try and pay attention to. Can I believe these characters are saying these sentences and saying them the way they are saying them? And that's kind of like my measure. And it's real important if your game type is dialogue heavy, dialogue specific. This is a visual novel. The answer is yes on that. And they've got it. We've met a couple of characters, and they have all fit exactly what I would expect them to be saying. I really like our character here. There is definitely some humor. I don't feel like I've seen a whole lot of kind of humor, but it also may not be targeted towards me because of the tag regarding LGBTQ+. So, some of that stuff might go over my head, just because that's not my experience. But the saloon thinking, hot branding, Nosferatu think. Wait, when did they change it? Oh, he just changed it because he said it. Oh, that's interesting too. I didn't even catch that happened. That was High Noon thinking. Oh, so is this gonna... Oh, see, that makes me want to play this even more then. This seems like a really cool effort, and I'm very curious if the licensed therapist is spouse, close relation, or the person making / writing the game or what have you. And I'm very curious what their intent is with it, but I'm in. I want to explore this. I have no idea if this is going to be one of those games where you get branching pathways or not. You can never really tell with a visual novel, but I am down for this. 97% out of all reviews, with 258 reviews as of this time. So visual novel makes it nice and easy for us to pop in and pop out, knowing exactly what we're going to expect in the general, and the specifics are something that I look forward to exploring myself. Anyway, I will see you guys on yet another show. Bye, guys.